Brought to you by Penguin.
A Murder of Quality by John le Carré, read by Simon Russell Beale. Chapter 1. Black Candles. The greatness of Caen's school has been ascribed by common consent to Edward VI, whose educational zeal is ascribed by history to the Duke of Somerset. But Caen prefers the respectability of the monarch to the questionable politics of his adviser, drawing strength from the conviction that great schools, like Tudor kings, were ordained in heaven. And indeed, its greatness is little short of miraculous. Founded by obscure monks, endowed by a sickly boy king, and dragged from oblivion by a Victorian bully, Caen had straightened its collar, scrubbed its rustic hands and face, and presented itself shining to the courts of the 20th century. And in the twinkling of an eye, the Dorset bumpkin was London's darling. Dick Whittington had arrived. Caen had parchments in Latin, seals in wax, and Lammas land behind the abbey. Caen had property, cloisters, and woodworm, a whipping block, and a line in the Doomsday Book. Then what more did it need to instruct the sons of the rich? And they came. Each half they came, for terms are not elegant things, so that throughout a whole afternoon the trains would unload sad groups of black-coated boys onto the station platform. They came in great cars that shone with mournful purity. They came to bury poor King Edward, trundling handcarts over the cobbled streets, or carrying tuck-boxes like little coffins. Some wore gowns, and when they walked, they looked like crows, or black angels come for the burying. Some followed singly like undertakers' mutes, and you could hear the clip of their boots as they went. They were always in mourning at Caen. The small boys because they must stay, and the big boys because they must leave. The masters because respectability was underpaid, and now as the Lent half, as the Easter term was called, drew to its end, the cloud of gloom was as firmly settled as ever over the grey towers of Caen. Gloom and the cold. The cold was crisp and sharp as flint. It cut the faces of the boys as they moved slowly from the deserted playing fields after the school match. It pierced their black topcoats and turned their stiff pointed collars into icy rings round their necks. Frozen, they plodded from the field to the long walled road which led to the main tuck shop and the town, the line gradually dwindling into groups, and the groups into pairs. Two boys who looked even colder than the rest crossed the road and made their way along a narrow path which led towards a distant but less populated tuck shop. "I think I shall die if ever I have to watch one of those beastly rugger games again. The noise is fantastic," said one. He was tall with fair hair, and his name was Cayley. "People only shout because the Dons are watching from the pavilion," the other rejoined. "That's why each house has to stand together, so that the house Dons can swank about how loud their houses shout." "What about Rode?" asked Cayley. "Why does he stand with us and make us shout then? He's not a house Don, just a bloody usher." "He's sucking up to the house Dons all the time. You can see him in the quad between lessons, buzzing round the big men. All the junior masters do." Cayley's companion was a cynical red-haired boy called Perkins, captain of Fielding's house. "I've been to tea with Rode," said Cayley. "Rode's hell. He wears brown boots." "What was tea like?" "Bleak. Funny how tea gives them away. Mrs. Rhodes quite decent, though, homely in a plebby sort of way. Doilies and china birds. Food's good. Women's Institute, but good. Rhodes doing corps next half. That'll put the lid on it. He's so keen, bouncing about all the time. You can tell he's not a gentleman. You know where he went to school?" "No." "Branksome Grammar. Fielding told my mamma when she came over from Singapore last half." "God, where's Branksome?" "On the coast near Bournemouth. I haven't been to tea with anyone except Fielding." Perkins...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?